Good evening, everybody. First of all, I want to congratulate all the inductees, former and present. About a week ago, Sean asked me if I would come up today and help with the induction of Stan Wright. I worked with Stan when he was here. I was the head trainer when Stan was here. And I said to him, it's been a long time. If you could just send me some background, some information that I could use tonight so I could sound somewhat coherent, which, if you know me, sometimes that's a little bit difficult. So he did. It was very nice. They sent me over a whole bunch of information. What I didn't realize is what they sent over was everything that's in your books here tonight. So in order not to be totally redundant and everything, let me just do a few things. I've been lucky enough in my career, when I started at Fairleigh Dickinson, to work with a bunch of good people. The first athletic director I worked for was Harvey Woods. He's in the Hall of Fame. Good, very good man. Then there was another guy who I worked. I forget. Roy Danforth. I worked with Roy for about 3 or 4 months. And then Roy and I came to an understanding that it would probably be better for me to go to Seton Hall. And then at Seton Hall, I worked with a few good people. One of them was George Blaney. So I've been blessed in my career to work with some really good people. With Stan, I have a lot of things written here that again, you're going to read in the book. There are things I didn't know about him, and working with him for 3 or 4 years, somewhere in that area. I didn't realize that he was in '64 Olympics in Tokyo, the Summer Olympic coach, and I didn't realize that he was the first African American track coach for the U.S. national team. I didn't know about that. His career just spanned so many years. He had so many things going on, and he was such a nice guy. I don't know how many here knew Stan or know of Stan, but he always had a smile on his face. Never said a bad word about anybody. And I'm sure you all know that he passed away on November 8th, 1998. What you may not know, but I'm sure is in the book, so you can read this. And again, I'm being somewhat redundant, and I didn't know this, that his cousin Larry Ellis had passed away 2 days, I think it was 2 days before that. And Larry Ellis was the '84 U.S. Olympic men's track and field coach. So I guess you could say that being in track and field, watch this one, gang, ran in his family. So anyway, if somewhere along the way somebody would say to me, boy, you worked with Stan for so long, do you have any really good or funny stories about Stan Wright? Anybody? Anybody want to ask me that question? Well, I don't have any real funny stories about Stan Wright. I do have kind of an ironic story about Stan Wright. As we all know, Stan was the coach in, I believe it was the '72 Olympics, when the athletes got to the line a little bit late. And he basically took one for the team, as we find out later on, and that it wasn't really his fault. He had gotten some wrong times from the committee, and as it turned out, the U.S. wasn't the only team that got the wrong times. There were other teams that also had the same situation with runners getting to the line at the wrong time. But Stan was the one that really we heard about the most. Well, one day along the way, I'm in the athletic training room, and Stan comes in and looks at me and says, "John, do you know what time it is?" And I go, "Yeah, Stan, I think it's like 3 o'clock." And he looks down, taps his watch, and says, "This thing hasn't worked since the Olympics." I didn't know really what to say to him at that point. Since he was my boss, I kind of laughed when he had a little smile on his face. And he had a little twinkle in his eye and a smile on his face, and like Santa, he was out of the room. So he was a very nice man. So Sean did give me a time limit. He said, get off as soon as you can because it's not going to be good for you. So in closing, I do accept this award tonight for Stan Wright and his family, and we welcome him into the 2014 Fairleigh Dickinson University Hall of Fame. Thank you.